Kirk Frost's world is crumbling and the cameras didn't catch this one. Just when you thought the drama had simmered down, a secret so explosive has surfaced that it's sending shockwaves through every corner of reality TV. Fans are reeling, Rashida is reportedly devastated, and social media, in complete meltdown, because, after years of dodging rumors, covering tracks, and insisting he'd changed, Kirk Frost's double life has finally been exposed, and at the heart of it all, a secret baby mama no one saw coming. Sources close to the Frost family have confirmed what fans have long suspected but never had proof of. Kirk didn't just cheat once, he built an entire second life. We're talking private apartments, hidden vacations, and a mystery woman who's now ready to speak out. Her identity, unknown until now. She's not just another name in the headlines. She's allegedly the mother of Kirk's child, born during his marriage to Rashida, and kept in the shadows for years. And wait until you hear who helped him cover it up. The emotional stakes couldn't be higher. Insiders say Rashida found out through an anonymous tip, one that came with photos, timestamps, and voice notes that shattered her world. And Kirk, he tried to deny, to stall, even to flip the script, but this time, the receipts are airtight. Now, family members are taking sides. Friends are turning into foes, and a once tightly knit empire is on the brink of implosion. But the real kicker, the mystery woman might not be working alone. Rumors are flying that this revelation was a coordinated move to bring Kirk down once and for all. Did someone from his past orchestrate this scandal? Is there more than one secret child? And could this be the beginning of the end for love and hip-hop's most infamous couple? Buckle up, because what you're about to hear will change everything you thought you knew about Kirk Frost. The betrayal runs deep, the lies are endless, and the truth, well, it's finally coming to light. Stay tuned, because this story is just getting started and nobody is walking away clean. The very next morning, and the internet is already in flames. Blogs, YouTube reaction channels, and even verified gossip pages are dissecting the leaked production footage like it's the film. Fans are in absolute shock after hearing Yandhi allegedly conspire with producers to show Spice what real power looks like. Twitter is divided, #Team Spice and #Team YandhiYR trending side by side, with both fanbases ready for battle. But the one person who isn't staying silent, Spice herself. She goes live. With over 76,000 viewers watching in real time, Spice sits on her porch in a neon green robe and no makeup, sipping tea literally and figuratively. So since y'all wanna know the truth, she begins, glaring directly into the camera. I never started this. I showed love, supported people's events, minded my damn business, and still Yandhi wanna try and play puppet master behind the scenes. Her accent sharpens, her voice rises, and soon she's pacing. Baby, I don't care how many producers you run to. I ain't scared of none of y'all. You think this a game? Watch me turn the whole show upside down. Meanwhile, Yandhi, at a photo shoot with her glam squad, unbothered on the outside but clearly cracking on the inside. Her phone's blowing up with DMs from fans, others from old friends now demanding answers. You need to go live too. Her assistant urges, clear your name. But Yandhi shakes her head. Nah, let her spiral. I've got receipts too. And if she wants war, then war it is. That's when she makes her move. She uploads a carousel of screenshots, text messages, DMs, even voice notes allegedly showing Spice gossiping about other castmates, including Rashida and Jessica. The captions read, "Since y'all love fake narratives, here's a taste of reality." Boom. The fandom loses its mind. Screenshots are dissected, reposted, and screen recorded. Jessica Dime, who had finally found some peace after the spa party meltdown, suddenly finds herself dragged back into the storm. In one of the leaked voice notes, Spice allegedly calls her a clout chaser who still thinks she's in 2012. Jessica sees the post and instantly calls Tokyo vanity. I swear, I've had it. First Sierra drops that pregnancy bomb at my event, now Spice dragging me in group chats like I'm the damn storyline. Tokyo replies, sis, go OFF. These girls are doing the most this season. Jessica wastes no time. She comments under Yandhi's post, next time, say it to my face, queen of passive aggression. Within minutes, Spice claps back in her own comments. Oh, but you couldn't say nothing to Sierra's face when she exposed BK at your spa. Worry about your own event getting hijacked. That was it. The line was crossed. Producers jump in. Emergency meetings are called. They know what's coming next, could either make or break the season. And that's when they plan the next Outcast dinner healing moment, they call it. But everyone knows it's a setup, a trap, a battlefield dressed up in white linens and fake peace offerings. The dinner is set at a luxury rooftop overlooking the Atlanta skyline. String lights, champagne, a unity circle theme. But behind the scenes, tension so thick it could be cut with a steak knife. Sierra shows up first, glowing despite the chaos. She's embraced by Erica and Rashida, who reassure her that no matter what, she's not alone. But just as she settles in walks BK Brasco uninvited. The room stiffens. Erica whispers, "Oh hell no." Sierra stands up, ready to leave, but producers intervene. "Just hear him out," they plead. BK walks over slowly, nervously, and speaks. "I just wanted to say I'm sorry. To you, to the group, to the baby we're bringing into this world. I messed up. Bad." Sierra crosses her arms. "You think one apology erases years of lies and ghosting?" He nods solemnly. "No, but it's a start." Before she can respond, the elevator dings and in walks Spice, flanked by Tokyo, and a whole new attitude. She's radiant, composed, but clearly locked and loaded. Not long after, Yandi arrives, solo, wearing a jaw-dropping emerald jumpsuit and an expression that says, "Try me." Silence falls. They sit on opposite ends of the long dinner table. Everyone else pretends to eat, drink, and laugh, but the tension is nuclear. Finally, Rashida attempts to break the ice. "Look, we've all been through it this season, but maybe tonight we can try to be real with each other. No cameras, no producers, just truth." Jessica nods. "I agree. Too much mess. Too many fake friendships." Then she turns to Spice. "Did you really say all that about me? Be honest." Spice exhales. "Yeah, I said some things. I was frustrated. Felt like people were choosing sides." Jessica replies, "You could have come to me." Spice nods. "I should have. I'm not proud of it." A crack of humility. Jessica, to everyone's surprise, softens. "All right, that's all I wanted." Then all eyes shift to Yandi. "Your turn," Bambi says, arms crossed. Yandi shrugs. "Look, I'm not innocent, but I never plotted anything. I reacted. I have a right to defend myself." Spice came at me with pure venom. Spice snorts. "And you came with producers and receipts." Yandi raises an eyebrow. "What was I supposed to do? Stay silent while you assassinate my character?" The room goes quiet again. Erica leans in. This is going nowhere. But Rashida speaks up. "It's going exactly where it needs to. Let it all out." And that's when Spice stands. "Fine, I'll say it. I don't trust you, Yandi. I never did. You came down here with your nose in the air, acting like you're better than us. But Atlanta built this show, not you." Yandi doesn't flinch. "And I never asked to be accepted. I came to build something new. Maybe the problem is, y'all don't want change." Voices rise. People start standing. Security shifts closer. Then, suddenly, Sierra slams her hand on the table. "Enough," she yells. "This is not about receipts, producers, or old beef. We're grown women. Half of us got kids watching this damn show. Is this the legacy we want? Petty fights and Instagram claps." The table goes silent. Even Spice and Yandi pause. "I came here thinking I was alone," Sierra continues. "But all I see now is a bunch of hurt women lashing out at each other instead of healing." And just like that, tears start falling. Jessica's eyes well up. Even Yandi looks down. Spice bites her lip, holding something back. Sierra walks away from the table, not for drama, but for peace. And just like that, Kirk Frost had always been a man of mystery, wrapped in charm and defiance, a walking contradiction of loyalty and temptation. For years, he managed to maneuver through scandal after scandal, always somehow finding a way to win Rashida back, smooth things over, and keep the empire intact. But this time, the truth refused to stay buried. It started innocently, with a cryptic DM sent to a fan account dedicated to Rashida, an anonymous message that simply read, "You don't know the half of it. There's another baby." Another woman asked Kirk about Miami, 2021. At first, it was dismissed as another internet troll trying to stir the pot, but that message didn't come alone. Within 48 hours, screenshots of text exchanges, images of Kirk holding a newborn in a hospital room, and even a short video clip of him outside a Miami maternity clinic began to circulate in private gossip groups. The story was too detailed, too consistent, and far too scandalous to be fake. Word spread like wildfire, And before long, Rashida's phone was blowing up, not from producers or fans, but from close friends who couldn't stay silent any longer. What broke Rashida wasn't just the betrayal, but the precision with which Kirk had hidden everything. According to one insider, Kirk had rented a penthouse in Miami for nearly a year, paid in cash under a friend's name. There, he reportedly hosted this woman known only as Camille at the time and kept her hidden from both the press and his circle. Camille, now revealed as a 32-year-old aspiring singer originally from Atlanta, had met Kirk at an industry event. Their connection, by her own admission, was instant. "He told me things were complicated with his wife," she later said in a leaked voice memo, "but he made me feel seen, protected. He said he was going to leave her once things cooled down." Classic story, some would say. But Camille wasn't just another groupie looking for clout. She had receipts. And when Kirk allegedly began ghosting her after their child's birth, she decided she'd had enough. The emotional fallout was instant. Rashida reportedly confronted Kirk the moment she confirmed the baby's birth certificate listed him as the father. The name wasn't Kirk Frost. Of course, it was a variation of his legal name, but paired with the DNA test Camille allegedly commissioned on her own, the evidence was damning. What followed was an explosive confrontation behind closed doors that Rashida's cousin, Jasmine, later described as pure chaos. According to Jasmine, Rashida screamed, cried, and even threw a glass vase during the confrontation. Kirk, caught in a storm of his own making, begged for forgiveness, swearing that it had only happened once, and that he had been confused and emotionally vulnerable. But Rashida wasn't buying it. "You didn't look confused when you were holding that baby like it was yours," she allegedly snapped, storming out of the room. But this wasn't just about a secret child, it was about years of deceit finally catching up. As Camille's story made its way into the public, more disturbing details emerged. She claimed Kirk had promised her a new life, that he had even picked out baby names with her, and that he would sneak away from filming trips to spend weekends with her. Even more shocking, a hotel worker from Miami came forward anonymously, stating that Kirk would often stay at their location under an alias, always accompanied by a very pregnant woman with red hair and no camera crew in sight. The pieces were falling into place, and fans began connecting dots to past episodes of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, where Kirk would suddenly disappear from the storyline for stretches of time. Was he really avoiding drama on camera or just hiding one in real life? Meanwhile, Rashida's family and friends began closing ranks. Her best friend Candy Burris reportedly flew in to be by her side, and even Mama D, normally a vocal supporter of Kirk, allegedly distanced herself from him, telling a friend, "I don't know who that man is anymore." The betrayal rippled far beyond the marriage. The couple's children were caught in the emotional crossfire, with Kirk's son Kai allegedly confronting him directly, shouting, "You did this to our mom again. What's wrong with you?" Witnesses say Kirk was left speechless, shaking, unable to respond as Kai stormed out. Producers of Love and Hip Hop were reportedly stunned. While drama is part of the game, this situation had escalated beyond anything they had anticipated. Behind the scenes, there were whispers of emergency meetings, questions about whether the cameras could even keep rolling, and debates about whether to turn this real-life bombshell into a new storyline. But Rashida, according to close sources, had one condition: "I'm not doing this for ratings. If I go on camera, I want the truth to come out, not your version of it." What she meant by your version raised even more questions, suggesting she believed Kirk had already begun spinning a new narrative with producers to save face. Camille, for her part, wasn't done talking. After her first wave of posts and interviews, she went silent for about a week. Then came the live stream. In a bold and emotional move, she went live on her backup Instagram account, speaking directly to her followers. "I didn't want it to be like this," she said through tears, holding her baby in one arm. "But I'm tired of being quiet." Kirk knew about this baby. He bought the crib. He picked out the outfits. He came to the hospital. And then he vanished, like we never existed. Her voice cracked, but the fire in her eyes was unmistakable. "He told me he was tired of the lies. That he wanted something real. But apparently, I was just part of the lie." The livestream sent the internet into meltdown. Fans flooded the comments with everything from support to outrage. Some attacked Camille for destroying a family, while others praised her bravery for exposing Kirk's manipulations. But one comment stood out. It came from a verified account, linked to another woman who claimed she had also been involved with Kirk during that same time period. Screenshots of DMS and tagged photos began to surface, suggesting Camille may not have been the only one. And just like that, the scandal that started with one child, one affair, and one secret woman was now threatening to unravel an entire web of deceit. Kirk had spent years spinning, and right at that moment, just when Rashida thought she'd heard it all, she received a call from an unknown number. The voice on the other end, calm, familiar, and shockingly direct. "Hey, you don't know me, but I think we need to talk. I have a child by Kirk too, and this goes back way before Miami." That was the moment Rashida realized the story wasn't over. Not by a long shot. In fact, it had just begun. The moment Rashida hung up the phone, her heart was pounding in her chest like a war drum. Her palms were sweaty, her breath uneven. Another woman, another child, another lie. She stared blankly at the wall, memories crashing down like broken glass. Every business trip, every time he claimed to be handling something at the studio, every cryptic text he brushed off as just work. It all began to look suspicious. Now, it was as if her entire marriage had been a carefully constructed stage, and Kirk had been playing a role the whole time. But who was he really when the cameras were off? Rashida had been down this road before. She had forgiven him once, she had fought for her family, but this time, the betrayal didn't just slice it burned. Rashida didn't wait. She called her legal team within the hour. She didn't tell Kirk. She didn't want a confrontation, not yet. She needed clarity, control. What she didn't know was that Kirk had already gotten wind of the new revelation, to a frantic call from his longtime friend and business associate, Tony. "Man, you need to get ahead of this. Word is spreading like wildfire. This woman's about to go public. She's got photos." Kirk was stunned. "Another one?" he asked, but the tone in his voice wasn't denial, it was defeat, almost as if he knew this day was coming. And Tony, clearly frustrated, shot back, "Don't play dumb. You always knew this skeleton closet was gonna blow open. And guess what?" Boom. Back at the Frost household, Rashida tried to keep herself composed for the kids, but the pressure was building. Her eldest daughter noticed the shift in her mom's energy. "You okay?" she asked gently. Rashida managed a tight smile. "Yeah baby, just tired." But her voice cracked. The kids weren't stupid. They'd seen their parents fight before, but never like this. The house felt heavy, quiet, and every phone notification sent Rashida's heart into panic mode. Then it happened. The second woman, this one, choosing the alias Lex, posted a carousel of old pictures on Instagram, all dated, geotagged, and disturbingly intimate. There was Kirk, shirtless, in what looked like a Nashville hotel room. There was Lex, visibly pregnant. Another image showed Kirk kissing her belly. A caption blurred out but faintly readable beneath the digital marker. "Can't wait to meet you, lil man." That post was from 2018, 2 years before the Miami baby. And the final photo, a toddler, sitting on a man's lap, his face cropped, but the tattoos on the hand holding the child were unmistakable. It was Kirk. The internet lost it. #KirkFrost trended on Twitter for 72 hours straight. Memes exploded. One user posted, "Kirk's got more secret kids than mixtapes." Another wrote, "At this point, Rashida needs a DNA lab in her house." This time, even Kirk's longtime supporters couldn't defend him. Mama D released a short video from her porch, looking visibly distressed. "I'm not about to sugarcoat it. I love my people, but wrong is wrong. Kirk, you need to come clean. You owe Rashida more than apologies. You owe her truth." Meanwhile, fans demanded that Rashida leave him once and for all. But leaving wasn't so simple. Their lives, their businesses, their finances, everything was intertwined. Rashida was furious, yes, but she was also calculating. She began to quietly gather documents, tracking expenses, checking who had been paid off, and cross-referencing travel logs. The more she dug, the more the rot revealed itself. There were payments to unknown consultants, weekly hotel bookings, and private car services in 3 cities. And most telling of all, several cash withdrawals just days before Camille and Lex gave birth. But Kirk wasn't done trying to spin. In a last-ditch attempt to salvage his crumbling image, he sat down with the producers of Love and Hip Hop for a confessional-style segment that he insisted be aired first in the next season's trailer. With sweat on his brow and pain in his voice, he looked into the camera and said, "I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. Things I'm not proud of. I got caught up in moments I should have walked away from. But I never stopped loving Rashida. That's the mother of my kids. That's my wife. And I want to fight for my family. It was raw, emotional, but also carefully worded. And Rashida, she wasn't moved. Too little, too late, she murmured when she watched the clip. You only want to fight when you're exposed. Not when you're hurting me in private. Camille and Lex, now aware of each other, surprisingly connected over DM. Rather than turning against one another, they found solidarity in shared betrayal. They even discussed doing a joint interview to tell their side without producers, without filters, just the raw truth. TMZ reportedly caught wind and tried to get an exclusive, but the women were hesitant. This isn't about fame, Camille posted on her story. This is about healing. About making sure he can't lie his way out of this anymore. The post ended with a cryptic line, and we're not the only ones. That final sentence hit the internet like a lightning bolt. Fans began digging, speculating. How many more were there? One Reddit thread claimed a woman in Houston had a similar story. Another in Charlotte, but no confirmations, yet just rumors. Still, in this saga, even rumors held weight. Rashida finally broke her silence during an impromptu IG live session. She sat on her bedroom floor, no makeup, eyes tired but resolute. I've been quiet because I needed time to breathe, to process, to protect my kids. But I see everything. I hear everything. And I'm not weak. Don't confuse silence with acceptance. Her voice trembled, then steadied. This ain't just about cheating. This is about disrespect. About being lied to over and over. About women and children being hidden like secrets. Fans flooded the live with hearts and crying emojis. Some even started a hashtag stand with RASHEEDA campaign, calling on her to walk away and rebuild. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, Kirk was spiraling. According to a close friend, he stopped showing up to meetings, missed key deadlines on a joint business venture with Rashida, and even had a near breakdown after getting served with legal documents. Whether they were divorce papers or financial investigations, no one knew for sure, but Kirk was unraveling fast. And just when things couldn't get any worse, Lex dropped another bomb. She posted a video of her son's birthday party, and standing in the background, unmistakable even, in grainy footage, was Kirk, holding a gift bag, smiling, laughing. The caption read, "He was there before the cameras knew. Don't let the reality show fool you. This was always real to us." That clip shattered any illusions Kirk tried to maintain. He wasn't just a man who made one mistake. He was a man who lived two, maybe three lives simultaneously. The question now wasn't if Rashida would leave, but when. And as the city buzzed with rumors of a legal showdown, one thing became clear: this was no longer just tabloid drama. This was war. Word of the escalating chaos between Kirk and Rashida reached every corner of Atlanta. Hair salons, recording studios, even local boutiques were buzzing with whispers. Did you hear about the other baby? Girl, Rashida is done this time. I knew he was shady when he lied about Jasmine's baby. But even the most scandal-hardened fans weren't ready for what came next, because just when the storm seemed to be reaching its peak, Rashida dropped a quiet, calculated bomb of her own. She posted a single image on her Instagram feed, a black screen with 3 words, "Checkmate. Coming soon." No explanation, no follow-up, just chaos in the comments. Fans lost their minds. Was it an album? A tell-all? A divorce announcement? Some even theorized it was a collab with Camille and Lex to bring Kirk's house of lies crashing down for good. Behind the scenes, Rashida had begun assembling her team. Not just lawyers, but publicists, media consultants, and most significantly private investigators. She was no longer playing defense. She wanted answers. If Kirk had betrayed her twice, who's to say there weren't more women, more children, more lies? And that's exactly what she found. According to 2 separate private reports leaked anonymously online, Kirk had used burner phones, private accounts, and even fake names on Airbnb to juggle a handful of secret rendezvous across cities. One report even detailed suspicious payments made to a woman in Dallas over a 2-year period, totaling more than $40,000. The recipient's name withheld, but the pattern was chillingly familiar. Kirk lavishing a younger woman with promises, gifts, and visits until the baby arrived, and he vanished. Meanwhile, Lex and Camille continued to shake the internet with subtle, coordinated moves. One day they both posted the same song lyrics. The next, a shared photo of their children playing together, both in matching outfits. Siblings, one fan asked. Plot twist sisters, in survival, Lex replied. Their unity unnerved Kirk's camp. He had expected silence, shame, division. Instead, he was facing a united front of women who had nothing left to lose and receipts that just wouldn't stop coming. Then came the Bombshell podcast episode. Rashida appeared on Sip and Spill, a viral women-led talk show known for exposing industry secrets. For the first time, she spoke in depth, calm, poised, but with fire behind her words. "You know what hurts more than the cheating?" she asked. "It's the arrogance. The idea that he could build entire families outside of ours and still come home to me like nothing happened, like I'm stupid, like I don't deserve the truth." The room went silent. One host leaned in, whispering, "So what now?" Rashida took a long breath. "Now I rebelled. But not with him." Fans were quick to rally. Celebs reposted clips of the interview with captions like "Queen Energy" and "About time she told her story." Women across the country began tagging Rashida in posts about reclaiming self-worth. A movement had started. And Kirk, he couldn't stop it. His response was rushed. A late-night Instagram live, clearly unscripted, where he rambled about not being perfect, loving his family, and being manipulated by these women. But the damage was done. His live was flooded with laughing emojis, clown gifs, and endless strings of boy bye. To make things worse, a former employee of Frost Bistro Kirk and Rashida's joint restaurant anonymously leaked surveillance footage of Kirk having what appeared to be a very intimate dinner with an unidentified woman. The date, just weeks before Camille had gone public. The footage showed Kirk reaching across the table, holding her hand, and leaning in close. The caption with the leak read, "So much for trying to fix his family." It went viral instantly. Every media outlet picked it up. TMZ, Shade Room, Baller Alert, everyone had Kirk's face plastered across their pages. The internet had turned against him completely. At this point, even his inner circle began distancing themselves. Tony, his longtime business partner, posted a cryptic message. "Can't save someone who keeps choosing destruction. Some lessons are learned the hard way." And even more shockingly, his own brother, Kenny Frost, made a surprise appearance on a podcast, subtly implying that Kirk had been living recklessly for years, and that the family had warned him to clean up before it got this far. The betrayal wasn't just public, it was personal. Back at home, Rashida began preparing for the next chapter. She wasn't crying anymore. She was planning. According to sources close to her, she'd already initiated the paperwork to divide their business assets and was quietly scouting new locations to open a boutique under her own name without Kirk. "I gave him my loyalty, my time, my youth," she told a friend. "Now I'm giving myself a future." But Kirk wasn't ready to go quietly. In a final act of desperation, he reached out to Camille and Lex, hoping to privately negotiate, allegedly offering hush money in exchange for a retraction of their stories. Neither woman responded. Instead, Camille posted a reel of her baby's first steps with the caption, "No lies, no silence, just truth walking forward." Lex followed up with a quote. "He tried to silence the women he hurt." "We" became louder than ever. As the dust began to settle, more women stepped forward, not all with children, but with stories. Kirk had been charming, manipulative, and methodical. He knew how to say the right things. He knew how to keep it off the grid. But now, the grid was flooded, and so was his reputation. Rashida, now empowered by support from fans and public figures alike, announced she was developing a docuseries, not about Kirk, but about women who survive betrayal in the public eye. "I'm tired of being a headline," she said in a press release. "It's time we own the story. Not just mine, but all of ours." And while Kirk tried to salvage what little was left, offering apologies, deleting posts, even disappearing from public view, there was no coming back from this. The lies had caught up. The truth had exploded. And the empire he tried so hard to protect had crumbled under the weight of his own secrets. But the biggest twist. Just days after Rashida's podcast went viral, she received yet another message, this time from a woman in New Orleans. The text was brief, but it was enough to send chills down her spine. "I think we need to talk. My daughter has Kirk's eyes." The pattern wasn't just repeating, it was multiplying. Rashida stared at her phone, reading the message over and over again. Her hands trembled, slightly, not from shock, but from exhaustion. How many times could her world shatter before she felt nothing at all? Another woman, another child, another lie. This wasn't just a marriage anymore. This was an epidemic. And Kirk Frost. He was the virus infecting everything she had tried so hard to protect. The legacy, the business, the brand, every bit of it now covered in the stench of betrayal. But something inside her had changed. She wasn't devastated. She wasn't broken. She was ready. Ready to tear down the house Kirk built on deception and rise from the ashes of every promise he'd broken. The woman from New Orleans identified herself as Tanya, and after a brief call with Rashida's legal team, agreed to fly to Atlanta and meet in person. There would be no media, no cameras, just truth. Tanya arrived with photos, medical records, and a paternity test she had conducted in secret using a toothbrush. Kirk once left at her home after a brief but intense affair 2 years earlier. Rashida sat silently as Tanya laid out her story: how Kirk had met her at a music conference, how he'd said his marriage was for business, how he'd disappeared when she got pregnant. Tanya wasn't angry. She was calm, collected, even gentle. "I'm not here to hurt you," she said, looking Rashida in the eyes. "I just don't want to live in his lie anymore." By now, Rashida had lost count. Camille, Lex, Tanya, and whispers of others. The puzzle pieces were forming a much larger image, one of a man who had built a double, maybe even triple life, for years. Rashida's silence had once been a shield for him, but not anymore. She made her decision that night. Divorce. Not just for herself, but for her children, for her sanity, and perhaps, for the army of women who had lived in Kirk's shadows for too long. The next day, Rashida filed for divorce and with it, a restraining order prohibiting Kirk from approaching her business properties. Word got out instantly. Paparazzi surrounded the courthouse. TMZ ran a breaking headline within minutes: "It's over. Rashida leaves Kirk for good amid third secret child revelation." Fans flooded the internet with support. Celebs from Cardi B to Taraji P. Henson reposted the news with words of encouragement. One tweet read, "Watching Rashida reclaim her peace is the plot twist we all needed." But the internet wasn't done spinning. In a jaw-dropping turn of events, another voice emerged, this time from someone inside Kirk's own circle. His former assistant Nia had seen enough. After years of being silenced, dismissed, and gaslit by Kirk himself, she came forward on TikTok, revealing years of cover-ups she had participated in under pressure. "I booked the rooms, I sent the payments. I even helped fake a calendar so Rashida wouldn't notice overlapping trips. I feel disgusting now. I thought I was helping him keep his marriage together. I didn't know I was helping him destroy it." Nia's videos went viral. Her calm, factual tone gave weight to her words. She shared emails, texts, even a voice recording of Kirk asking her to move some cash around so it doesn't look sus. The public was stunned. Kirk wasn't just cheating. He had built a system of lies, with willing enablers, hush money, and corporate deceit. The betrayal wasn't romantic anymore. It was criminal. Kirk tried to hit back, legally sending cease and desist letters, threatening defamation lawsuits. But the women weren't intimidated anymore. Lex went live, laughing. "He's suing me for telling the truth. Boy, please, sue your reflection." Camille followed with a joint video featuring Tanya, both women speaking directly to Kirk. "You created this mess. You lied to all of us. You walked away. We're not the villains, here you are." As the dust settled, Kirk disappeared from social media entirely. No posts, no statements, nothing. But the silence spoke volumes. Rashida, on the other hand, flourished. She launched a new fashion line called Truth Over Tradition, inspired by women who had been through public betrayal and still chose to stand tall. The first release sold out in hours. She announced a reality spin-off focused on rebuilding life after scandal, not with pity, but with power. "I'm not starting over," she told Essence magazine. "I'm just starting right." Fans watched in her pain had become her platform. Her silence had become her voice. And Kirk, he was now just a cautionary tale. But Rashida's transformation wasn't the only thing making headlines. Because just as everyone began to exhale, a mysterious email landed in the inbox of the Love and Hip Hop producers. It was unsigned. No return address. But it contained one explosive file, a video dated 2016, showing Kirk in a hotel lobby with another woman, carrying a baby carrier. The woman, still unknown. The baby, age uncertain. But the implications, nuclear. If verified, this video could mean Kirk had been hiding secret children for nearly a decade. The producers, stunned, began an internal investigation. The footage matched a previously unexplained gap in Kirk's shooting schedule from that year. Could this be the first? The original betrayal? And if so, how many more had followed? The mystery deepened, and the legend of Kirk Frost's secret life grew darker by the hour. Rashida, now unbothered by each new headline, simply posted a single quote to her story: "The truth has no expiration date." Fans reposted it thousands of times. Camille and Lex shared it too. Tanya liked it. Naya commented, "And the truth always wins." The comments sections turned into support groups. Women from all walks of life, some anonymous, others open, came forward with their own stories. The drama had turned into a movement. Not just about cheating. Not just about Kirk, but about accountability. The Frost Empire had fallen. But Rashida, she was just beginning her reign. And yet, there was still one final twist lurking in the shadows, one that no one, not even Rashida, saw coming. Just when everyone thought the dust had finally settled, that Kirk Frost had been silenced by the weight of his own destruction, and Rashida was finally free to rebuild without interference, the universe delivered one last, devastating twist, something so bizarre, so unbelievable, it sent shockwaves through the entire reality TV world, and left even the most die-hard fans speechless. Late one night, Camille posted a cryptic Instagram story, a screenshot of a direct message she had received from a private, unverified account. The message was brief, chilling, and written with precise punctuation. "Camille, you think you know everything, but there's someone else. Someone older. I've been quiet long enough." Attached to the message was a blurry photo of a young man about 18, maybe 19, leaning against a black car. The caption beneath read, "He was first, 2005. Kirk's son. You're not ready for this." The internet exploded. Who was this young man? Was Kirk hiding a fully grown child? The math didn't lie. If the photo was real, and the timeline accurate, that child would have been born before Kirk even married Rashida. Yet Kirk had never once publicly acknowledged an adult son outside of his known children. The implications were catastrophic. Not only did it reveal a deeper history of lies, but it also hinted that Kirk's entire narrative, even the version Rashida had believed before their wedding, might have been built on fabrication. What else had he hidden? How many more secrets were stitched into the fabric of their 20-year relationship? Camille didn't say another word publicly, but within hours, Rashida posted a single name on her Instagram story: Malik. No context, no photo, just the name. Fans and bloggers were in meltdown mode. Malik was trending within an hour. Forums lit up with speculation. Was Malik Kirk's secret son? Was he coming forward? Was he about to give an interview? And then, it happened. A new TikTok account, only minutes old, posted a video of a young man sitting on a rooftop at dusk, hoodie pulled low, voice calm, but sharp. "My name is Malik Frost," he said. "I've been quiet for a long time, because I didn't want to hurt anybody, but I'm tired of being erased. That's my father. I'm his firstborn, and he's lied to all of you." The video got over 2 million views in 24 hours. In it, Malik explained everything. His mother, a woman named Deidre, had met Kirk in the early 2000s, when he was still producing music independently. They had a short but intense relationship. When she became pregnant, Kirk denied paternity until she served him with a court-ordered test. Even then, Malik claimed Kirk agreed to support them, but only if they stayed out of the public eye. He didn't want to ruin his clean image before he proposed to Rashida, Malik said. "So I became the family secret. A monthly payment. A name that never got mentioned." Malik revealed that over the years, he watched Kirk rise to fame on Love and Hip Hop, watched him cry over mistakes, watched him claim to be a changed man, all while knowing the truth. "I stayed quiet because I didn't want to be part of the drama," he added. "But now that I see what he did to those women, what he did to Rashida, I can't protect him anymore." The reaction was nuclear. Kirk, still in hiding, was now being slammed from every angle. Fans felt duped, betrayed, not just by the cheating, but by the years of dishonesty that stretched even before the cameras began rolling. Bloggers declared Malik the final nail in Kirk's coffin. Interviews were requested. Offers were made. Malik refused them all until Rashida reached out. Yes, Rashida. She arranged to meet him privately, and what was supposed to be a tense, emotional confrontation between a wife and her husband's secret son turned into something far deeper. Malik recorded a short video message afterward. "She didn't owe me grace," he said, voice thick with emotion, "but she gave it anyway. She told me I mattered. That I wasn't the mistake he was." Fans wept. The comment sections flooded with heart emojis and tearful support. Rashida had taken the last dagger and turned it into a tool for healing. She wasn't just rising above the scandal, she was rewriting the rules of survival. Days later, she made it official. A joint video with Malik was posted to her YouTube channel, where they sat side by side, candid and unscripted. Healing doesn't mean forgetting, Rashida said. It means facing the truth head-on, even when it's ugly, even when it hurts. Malik deserved a family. And I'm not about to let Kirk's fear rob him of that anymore. Malik nodded. This isn't about revenge, it's about being seen. The video went viral instantly. It was shared across platforms with titles like Rashida rewrites the narrative, The Secret Son breaks his silence, and Kirk Frost, the man who lied to everyone. The internet had found its closure. Not from Kirk, but from Rashida and Malik, two people Kirk had let down the most, rising up to own a truth he had buried for nearly 2 decades, and Kirk. Word eventually surfaced that he had left Atlanta, temporarily retreating to a family property in South Carolina to escape the noise. A drone video allegedly captured him alone, looking older than ever, walking the edge of a quiet lake. No camera crews, no script, just a man caught in the wreckage of the lies he swore would never surface. But this wasn't his story anymore. This was Rashida's chapter now. One of pain, yes, but also one of power, truth, sisterhood, and survival. And as fans celebrated her resilience, reposted her quotes, bought out her new clothing line, and flooded her DMs with love, Rashida simply smiled on, posted one final message. The empire didn't fall, I just changed the throne. And just like that, the truth that Kirk Frost fought to bury for nearly 2 decades came roaring to the surface. Unrelenting, unapologetic, and undeniable. From the hidden baby in Miami to the surprise son in New Orleans. And finally, to Malik, the original secret Kirk never thought would speak. This wasn't just one scandal. It was a collapse, a dismantling of a legacy that was built on lies, denial, and damage control. And at the center of it all, a woman who refused to be silenced. Rashida didn't just survive the storm, she harnessed it. She took the betrayal, the heartbreak, the humiliation, and turned it into power, into purpose, into a platform for truth. Fans watched her go from the heartbroken wife to the fearless queen who said enough. What happens next? Will Kirk ever return and face the public? Will more women come forward? Will Rashida's new chapter inspire other women in silence to speak up and walk away from toxic loyalty? Or is this just the beginning of a much larger reckoning inside the love and hip-hop universe? One thing's for sure, this saga isn't just about Kirk Frost anymore. It's about every woman who's been lied to, every child kept in the shadows, every assistant who was forced to clean up messes they didn't make. It's about justice. And it's about time. If you made it this far, drop A in the comments to show your support for Rashida. Do you believe Kirk's story is finally over? Or is there still more lurking beneath the surface? Let us know below. And don't forget, smash that like button, subscribe for more jaw-dropping drama, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next bombshell. Because in the world of reality TV, no secret stays buried forever. We'll be watching. Will you? Will you?